what's up, fellas? It's me, Scott, aka Bacon Turtle, here with a Pokemon Draft League team preview. Yes, this is a new league that I'm in. Well, not necessarily new, but a new season. So, as you guys know, I have some. I've been part of the TML Draft League, the Machamp Lounge, and we finished the last season with Gigantamax Pokemon. I didn't make playoffs, unfortunately. I did end up 3-5, but it was a good season and was not a fan of the Gigantamax. But this season we are using the new DLC moves. So we know ahead of time. I can't tell you why. I'm not really sure. Maybe a Dynamine. I don't know. But we know which Pokemon will be getting which new moves and which. And all that stuff, because we know which legendaries are coming out and then what moves are compatible, etc, etc. And the way we are going to be able to use these is we have a new sports server, a new server on Pokemon Showdown for this situation. So we will be using the National Dex DLC 2 Legacy format. So that should allow the new moves to be legal. And yeah, so I'm going to be going over the team that I drafted and letting you know what could be some possible sets and what my plan and my idea was in drafting these Pokemon. So yeah, so let's get into it. So this draft was a tier draft. We got the 5 tiers and then the 400 points. And yeah, so first off, I was placed right smack in the middle. Because I had a bad season last year. I had the worst draft spot, at least where people voted, because I was the last person to pick where the second to last place to pick where I can pick. So I was 8th, right in the middle, so no picks close to each other. Had to wait the same amount of time between each pick. But I was able to get Latios here. So Latios is a huge threat because, I mean, it's just a great S-tier draft Pokemon already. You know, Dragon type, Psychic type. That's 110 speed, the 130 special attack. Gets set up with Calm Mind. It gets Roost Recovery. It gets Dragon Dance. If it can be physical, that can be very viable in draft format. It does get Psychic Dragon Stab. It gets, you know, a lot of coverage like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Surf, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, lots and lots of coverage. And some of the new moves that it gets this new DLC is it has now access to Mystical Fire for those steel types like Ferrothorn, Scizor, things like that. And then it also gets Aura Sphere for also those steel types or normal types or whatever, but mostly the steel types, like Bisharp or I don't know, Tyranitar, things like that. So that really helps this Pokemon out. Very good. Wanted to build around this. So yeah. So next up, I wanted to get a good bulky steel type, and I fell upon Ferrothorn. So I love Ferrothorn. I wanted to get more back into the style that I love to play, and I've always loved using Ferrothorn. Really bulky, with leftovers recovery. It gets Leech Seed, Protect, Toxic. Very kind of stally Pokemon, but good pivot. Gets knockoff coverage. Gets Body Press. It gets Gyro Ball, Iron Head, Power Whip, and both hazards, Spikes and Stealth Rocks. So going to be a hazard setter. It's going to be Leech Seed, Sapping, Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs, you know, just things like that, knocking off items. Just going to be a pass, something to switch into, good pivot. Yeah, so this is like one of my fairy answers. So next up, I wanted to get a good fairy, and Florges was actually voted a tier down, so this is actually my tier 3. So I saw this as a great value pick. It's normally tier 2. I've always thought Florges was underrated. That amazing special defensive stat. Don't even need to put a lot of investment into it. Yeah, it gets set up with Calm Mind. Gets Wish, Synthesis, so I can recover 2 ways. It does get Heal Bell, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, HP Fire for the steel types. It does get Grass coverage. It's mostly a cleric, but it can also put in a lot of damage, as you can see with that 112 base special attack. But with aromatherapy, wish, it's a great cleric. And yeah, so next up, I actually did draft Jellicent, but before anything happened, I was able to drop it for Vaporeon here real quick. And just felt like a lot of people were giving me good ideas on why Vaporeon could be better for me. I did want Jellicent to pair very, very well with Ferrothorn. Could be my fighting immunity. And obviously my bulky water type. It gives me Will-O-Wisp. But I did feel like Vaporeon is a little bit better here. It's more on the defensive side. It has more HP. Not more defense, but because of the HP, it does take defensive hits a lot better. And this can also be my cleric as well, so it can take the pressure off of Florges for being my wish support or my heal beller or things like that. So I can actually set up with Florges and be a little bit more offensive. I forgot to mention Florges does get defog as well, so that's very good. Same with Latios. So I've already got 2 defoggers, and yeah. So Vaporeon here, very, very good. Gets flip turn, so I can get some momentum. I also get Baton Pass, but that's a little different. It does get things like acid armor, but it's mostly gonna be bulky, taking hits. Skull, trying to get the burns, maybe using Toxic and Wish and Heal Bell, things like that. And a great water type because it gets water absorbed, so I'm immune to other water types, and that's always very, very useful in draft. So next up, I drafted Golbat here. Eviolite Golbat is great. Another one of my favorite Pokemon to use. Slow U-turner. It can be if I don't put investment. It can also be a fast U-turner, depending on that's a very good speed tier to have. I can outspeed some really bulky Pokemon, or I can actually be slower. This does get Nasty Plot set up, so it can be Heat Wave, Sludge Bomb, Air Slash, things like that. But it's mostly going to be like physical with Brave Bird, Poison Fang, Defog, Roost, Toxic, U-turn. Can even go Super Fang if needed. And yeah, so that's for Golbat. I love Golbat because Eviolite with those defenses is actually pretty good. Just have to avoid the knockoff. It's actually also a good ground immunity, so yeah, gonna need that. So next up, I have Regice. So I find this a very high value tier 5 pick. Amazing stats, can definitely switch into special attacks, like any special attack. And can probably take like Focus Blast all day. Probably not all day, but still, like that special defense is off the hook. But it does get Curse set up. I can rest. I can obviously have Bolt Beam coverage with Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. And it gets let me look at some of the moves it gets. It does get Ancient Power, Counter, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast itself, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt, yeah, just things like that mostly. But I just figure I can get an Ice type and see what Regice can do. If my opponent is particularly weak to Ice types, or maybe doesn't really have a good Steel type, I can maybe bring this and it can actually put in the work. So next up, I have one of my favorite Pokemon to use in draft lately is Zeraora. So Zeraora is definitely an S tier draft Pokemon in my opinion. The speed tier is insanely high, allows me to go like Adamant or Modest, like with a positive attacking nature. It can be special or physical. It gets set up on both. Bulk Up, Calm Mind. It does get Rising Voltage now, which is great. I think it got it. It already been having it, but I think it gets. It's been having Aura Sphere, so it got a lot of the DLC moves earlier on because it's been released. But it gets Drain Punch. Knockoff is good for this. Grass Knot. Plasma Fist, Blaze Kick, just things like that. Coverage on both sides, and electric immunity as well. So that's very good. But this just has a great speed tier that allows me to revenge easier, force some switches, and maybe get some subs off, can knock things off, drain punch. It gets close combat even too. So very, very great Pokemon in draft. Next up, I have Crocodile here. So Crocodile is my ground type, my dark type, great Pokemon. Haven't used it as much, but I've used it in a long time ago. I love it. Great defensively, high HP stat, high attack stat, really good speed tier. It gets Intimidate, so it can be bulky. It can be set some Stealth Rocks, take the pressure off of Ferrothorn. I like that it gets Pursuit, so I can get those Psychic types out. I can knock off, and then it also is great as a Scarf Moxie Sweeper. If I can get rid of all his Earthquake resists or immunities or whatever, get things weak enough, I can just Scarf Moxie, EQ everything into oblivion. So Crocodile is very, very dangerous. Has many different types of sets, so that's why I like it. But great value pick as well. So yeah, just decided to go with Crocodile here. And then next up, I got Blaziken. So Blaziken actually moved up a tier to tier 3. This one, this actually got a couple new moves, U-turn and close combat. It got added, so that makes this very, very good. Makes it a lot more viable, especially with the U-turn and reliable, strong fighting coverage. Before, it had like superpower and high jump kick. High jump kick could miss. Superpower lowers your attack each time, so it can't be spammed. It can't be like banded and just spam it, or it can't be scarfed and band it and spam it. But now with U-turn close combat, it can be a very viable Scarfer, or even band, or sub life orb, or bulk up, just things like that. And then just start just blasting holes with Flare Blitz, close combat. It gets Thunder Punch, it gets Knockoff, it gets Earthquake, it gets Swords Dance, it gets a bunch of coverage, like a bunch. Really good offensive stats, respectable HP, so it's gonna live a hit. So it's because it has 120 attack, 110 special attack. It can go mixed. I can have Flamethrower. I can have Overheat if I want to just blast off a strong fire type attack. Maybe like if I'm versus like a Skarmory or something like that, I want or like a Scizor. I want to just get or like a Fortress, you know what I mean? So like get that easy damage, Kartana even, I can go Flamethrower and go that route. Yeah, so that's my fire fighting type. Next up, I've got Zangoose. So this is a great value tier 5 pick. I've always loved Zangoose. I've always wanted to draft it, and I got my opportunity. So with its ability Toxic Boost, you don't see here, it says immunity, but down here, so Toxic Boost. So when it's poisoned, it gets a 50% boost in attacks, and give this thing a Toxic Orb, and Facade is just gonna wreck teams, just absolutely just destroy teams. Obviously ghost types are immune, so it's gonna need some other coverage, like knockoff. It does get knockoff, so that's really good. It does have the coverage. Also steel types, or rock types can switch into normal Facade. So it does get low kick as well. I can Swords Dance, but my favorite thing about this thing is that it gets quick attack. So the Toxic Boost, Stab, Swords Dance, quick attack can just destroy teams. It can actually 2-hit KO a lot of Pokemon. And if I can just I can keep this around to the end of some battles. I can definitely just get the upper hand, get the Swords Dance, and then just start wrecking through teams. Honestly, great Pokemon. Very, very offensive here. And then last but not least, I have my Mega Pokemon here. So Mega Beedrill is my Mega. Very, very fast, following the pairing very well with Zeraora, my fast attackers. This, with that base 150 adaptability, U-turn is just going to destroy teams as well. He's definitely gonna need a resist. I highly expect like Rocky Helmet Pokemon to start showing up, but that helps me because that means they're not gonna be like heavy duty boots, or they're not gonna be leftovers and things like that. So that's fine. And then I have answers. I've got like Florges to wish this stuff, wish this up. I've got Vaporeon to wish this up. You know, I got double wishers. I can, you know, baton pass with Vaporeon even. So I'm not too worried about this getting whittled down. This also does get great coverage for its resist. It gets drill run for the steel types that can come in. It gets knockoff for the ghost types. And then I can even use Felstinger some weeks where I can get that +3 boost and just sweep. It's gonna be very hard to outspeed this. Gonna force a lot of scarf items on my Pokemon, on my opponent's Pokemon. So forcing scarfs allows things to be easily handled, or easier handled. And yeah, so that's the team, guys. You know, I don't know what you guys think. I've been hearing good thoughts about what my team is. Probably Regice is my, you know, weakest link here. Zangoose, Blaziken, but even all those are really good. It's hard to see what like a bad Pokemon on my team right now. I think I have all the types. Honestly, can't think of one that I'm missing. Yeah, I've got them all. I got poison. I've got ice. I've got actually no rock. I do not have a rock type, so that's the one I'm missing. But I think we're good here, right, guys? I think we're good. Yeah, so I got special attackers with Latios, Florges, Vaporeon, Regice, Zeraora a little bit, and then the rest are pretty much physical attackers. I've got Ferrothorn, I've got Zeraora, Crocodile, Blaziken, Zangoose, Mega Beedrill. So, anyways, so leave a like for the video if you guys like the team. Comment down below, who do you think is going to be doing well? Who do you think is going to be my offensive MVP? Who do you think is going to be my defensive MVP? Who do you think will have the most kills? You can predict my record. What do you think? Am I going to go above 500, below 500? What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to interact with you guys and see what you guys think. And yeah, so if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And hopefully we can get some wins with the team. And look forward to some battles. I'll be posting those soon. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys next time. Peace and love. Peace and love.